Hey Heidi, welcome in. Feel free to chat. You could type in the chat.
Hi
Awesome.
there. Just
Hey.
multitasking, taking kiddos to and fro. So
No, that's great. I'm so glad you're able to be on. Yeah, I feel like I'm on Zooms all day long, and sometimes I just gotta pop my headphones in and listen, but you still get something out of it. So, and we'll record this
yes,
too if you got to jump off.
perfect.
Awesome. Love it. Cool. Well, we're gonna let some people funnel in. I just got off the phone with Allison, so she'll be in here soon.
Perfect. She's
Cool.
great, isn't she? I love her.
Oh, incredibly so, and just such a leader, really. And that's huge because we all have the ability to inspire people and influence people, but if you don't, take a stand on your podium, you
Yep.
might not. Yeah. But hey, Allison, we're just saying great things about you before the call has even started.
Oh. Oh.
So good.
Yeah.
Um, Allison, I'm gonna make you a host. Oh no, I'll stay the host. No, I'll stay. I haven't done an interview before. This is me practicing to have my own podcast one day. Just kidding. Hi, Sierra. Hi, Gowrie. Hi, everybody. If you don't have your cameras on, no problem. If you need to be muted, no problem. If you have any questions you want to ask or anything we want to cover, you just want to chime in, just drop it in the chat. And if you do ask a question in there, I will tie it in at some point. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, sorry, putting kids to bed, but
That's
hi.
okay. Um, for those of you that don't know, my boyfriend's a chef, and you'd think we'd cook all the healthy food, but he's an Italian chef, so it's just like leftover pizza and pasta in our fridge at all times. Luckily, we fear no carbs, right, everybody? But tonight's his night off, so when Allison was like Wednesday, I'm like, perfect. Hey, take the baby. So it's bath time, and I'm not doing it tonight. iPhone 12, I do not know who you are. So if you want to type in the chat or tell us, that'd be cool. Otherwise, that's okay. Oh, hi, Anna. Yay. Cool. All right, we're going to get started, you guys. This is recording. So if you feel like you need to jump off, do not worry. You will not miss any of the golden nuggets. I will post this shortly after. But hello, everybody. Happy hump day. It's your girl, Jeff Lee. And tonight we have a special team call. I know we just had a team call on Sunday, but I could not deny the power that Allison's journey has had. And I said, we need to get you on a call ASAP to share what you've done, how you've done it, but also relate to everybody too, because we're all on the same game plan and our journeys might look different, but she's got something figured out. And so she's going to share it with you guys tonight. Just so you guys know, my mission with Just Lee Fitness and in my coaching is I really want to help people improve their health and fitness so that they thereby show up more confident at work, sexy in their marriage, and reliable as a parent. And so we're changing society, we're changing generations simply by hitting our big four. Like, how crazy is that? By this game plan that we're all running together, we can change generations, we can change society, but it starts with us. It's a domino effect, it's a ripple effect. So thank you for being a part of that ripple with me. And I don't think it's a ripple anymore at this point. We're rolling so deep, these are waves. So we're just going to keep it running. Now, we always start our calls with some wins. Now, I know you guys have your cameras off and are muted, but if you can either drop a win from this week in the chat or you can unmute and chime in. If nobody does, Allison and I will give you one. But we always start our call with some wins. It doesn't even have to be a win of yours. It could be a win of someone you know. But I'm going to give you guys the floor in case anyone wants to jump in with a win from this past week.
I was able to fit into another old jean of mine.
How awesome is that?
It was way back in the closet drawer, and I was just like rearranging, and it's like, hey, long time no see, and I tried it, and it fits. It's not fitting perfectly. I'm like I have to suck my stomach in to get the last button on, but previously it wouldn't go way past my thighs. No, it's
Yeah.
fitting.
Oh, how awesome is that? I am sure those of you with your cameras off would nod your head that we all have a drawer of clothes that don't fit us anymore, but we won't get rid of because we know they'll fit us one day when we lose that weight, right? They used to fit. Now, I took it a step further and I actually bought a pair of shorts that was one size less than what I have right now to be like, I will fit into these by summer. So I'm spending money on it at this point. But that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Ari. And I bet you that button will fit just fine pretty soon. Does anybody else have any wins that they want to share with us?
On that same page, I donated all my size 28 jeans because they all fell off me. So that's exciting. Got them out of my closet and handed them off to other people.
Not only is that amazing, but that is a declaration that you will not go back to that size. And that's what size I am right now. I was
Yep,
like,
no more
I
babies. I'm going back to that size.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh, you
maybe
want some jeans?
Well, no, because I'm not going to be that size in like a couple weeks. So sorry.
There you go.
But
I think Brooke's
Allison,
got some dibs on them.
Allison, you make such cute babies, though.
No, I don't need any more. I don't need any more.
So cool, you guys. Well, if you have any other wins you want to share, please feel free to drop them in the chat when you have time. We want to celebrate you. We want to hear about your wins, and we want to hear about your struggles too. So if you have questions you want to ask Allison or I or anyone, just drop it and we will answer it. Let's go, Anna. It's apparently but what are all these fitness girls doing wearing jeans? We're not supposed to be wearing jeans. What are we doing? You guys probably saw I wore shorts today and everyone's like, wow, you look cute. I'm like, what? I don't look cute in my spandex shorts. Thanks a lot. All right, you guys. So we are going to get right into it. We are bringing Allison into the call. Thank you all for being here again. The reason we're having Allison on this call is because, as you all know, she's not only had an incredible transformation, but she has done so with so many other factors that some people could say are pinned against them. She has a lot of reasons not to go, but she went, right? And we're going to kind of get into that. Hi, Tiffany. So not only that, you can go fast alone, but you can go further together. And that is truly, like, if I were to give Allison a motto, she's brought a lot of people with her and officially made it not about her anymore. And I think that's empowered her to get even greater results because she has a team behind her. So we're going to get into all that. But first off, welcome, Allison. So happy to have you. Why don't you kind of kick things off? I'm going to hand it over to you and just tell us your story. Tell us about you. There's going to be some people in here that don't know a thing about you. There's going to be people in here that know a lot about you, but give us your story real quick.
Awesome. Well, I'm originally from California. I was born and raised in Northern California, Santa Rosa. I grew up swimming competitively, so started that when I was 5. Swam throughout college, did a little volleyball here and there, track and field, and then went down. Well, my first year school, I was at this little private Christian college in Illinois. I went there through my church, swam there. It was Division III, was breaking records left and right. So not to sound cocky, but I was just too good for that school. So my mom made me wait it out a year. I waited it out. And then I went to a junior college locally in Santa Rosa, which is probably the best decision ever. Cause then I got a full ride down to San Diego State after that, which kind of kept my swimming career going. Cause it kind of would have stopped after that, which I was stoked about. Did that. And then came home one summer, met Ian, my husband, we worked at a gym together. He went to Sonoma State in the same town I'm from. We met at a gym that my older sister was working at. And then he went off to grad school. We kind of moved together to Texas and then came back. He was with the Niners for 2 years. We were kind of just hanging out in San Jose. We got married, all that jazz. Got pregnant with our first kiddo. And then 2 weeks before I was due, he got hired onto UW. So that's what took us into Seattle. We've been here ever since and we love it. Coming to Seattle, I had no family, no friends, kind of just a lone chicken with a newborn baby. But I found my tribe at the time with a group called Fit for Mom. It's a stroller strides group. And this amazing woman, Erin, I took some classes and then she kind of recruited for that. So I taught stroller strides for like a year and a half until I had Luke, my second. So that was kind of my outside of collegiate swimming. I started teaching cycle and then carried that here and kept teaching cycle. And then F45 took a little path when I took a class from my friend's studio in Santa Rosa when I was there. Hollywood, I think you all know Hollywood, stole my heart that Saturday morning 60-minute class. So then that got me kicking and I started working there. 3 kids later, we're still in Seattle and I teach infant survival swim lessons now. So anywhere from 6 months and up, I'm a full-time mom of 3 boys, 7, 5, and 2. And then I work at 45 my morning. So we kind of have a good schedule to where I can still work, get my workout in, do my morning gig before 8 a.m. So I'm usually up at 4 a.m. doing a workout, and then I coach my 5, 6, 7, all before, kiddos go to school. I come home, Ian and I tag team getting kids out of the house for school. And then he goes to work, and then I'm a full-time mom during the day. And then I've taken on extra things like volunteering to coach for T-ball and things like that, and just being, kids Uber driver, as you all probably are as well. And then, I would say we probably get on this topic, but as far as counting macros and getting onto the train with Jess, it took me a while. I was intimidated. Counting macros has always been an intimidating thing for me. I'm not good at math, but that doesn't have anything to do with it because the app does it for you. But, me thinking, okay, I'm adding all this stuff, thinking about having to track it, weigh it, all that stuff, all those intimidating things that everyone's thinking about before they actually jump on and commit to it. It definitely took me a while to jump on board, and I just kept seeing Jess post and post and post on Instagram, and finally I was like, fuck, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. So then I did it, and it's been the best thing ever. It took me probably a week, 2 weeks to actually get the ball rolling, to figure out how to pre-track my day, just to figure out how to piece everything together. But I think that's now my favorite part of my morning is opening the app and getting my day figured out of what can I eat today or what do I want to eat today, and just like making that big puzzle fit and work. So yeah.
Amazing. I love it, Allison. So just so you guys know, so I was the head trainer at the F45 in Santa Rosa that her sister goes to. And so that's how her and I got connected. And the last time I saw her after that, I had just had my daughter a few months prior. You just had your last son, and we saw each other at like a Christmas tree light, and we were boozing and walking around town at night. So that was the last time we saw each other. Now, Allison bought creatine from First Form per my recommendation, and that was it. It was kind of radio silence after that. We would like each other's stories here and there. I'd kind of poke her every now and then because I knew she was going to come in eventually. I knew she was going to want it, but it was just creatine and she was cruising with that. And eventually she reached out, and now she's just a cold killer on this. So, Allison, I want to touch on something because when people work in the fitness industry, sometimes there's this stigma that like, oh, must be nice that you could just do fitness all the time. But what I heard more in your story, not just that fitness part, is that you moved a lot for your husband. You had a lot of moves. You had a lot of kids. You had a lot of job changes. You were, and teaching the swim, you're doing a lot of things for other people and really pouring into other people. And so can you just talk a little bit about how that affects your mindset and like pouring into yourself, and if you were able to do that to the best of your ability then versus now. And it's not a clear question, but I just want to hear you talk more on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of before kids. It was more just, I was a swim coach. I was coaching Santa Clara Swim Club. I was just doing, you know, stuff for me, stuff to kind of just throw any in just to get us through. But to touch on that, it just, I think the word that comes to mind is just making like sacrifices. Sometimes I have to sacrifice sleep. Sometimes I have to sacrifice, I mean, I go to bed at 8:30, like when my kids go to sleep, because I need to get out. If I don't work out before I come home to be that mother figure, then I won't be able to. And then I'm not the best person, like not the best mom I could be, not the best wife I could be. That 45-minute workout just to myself. And honestly, I don't mind doing it by myself at 4 a.m. Again, that's a sacrifice. I don't have to wake up at 3:30 to go work out, but I choose to, just because that's the time that I can be by myself. I can think, I can, you know, take my pre-workout popsicle and just freaking jam out to loud music, and know that it's done. I do, of course, have a few days that I've worked in my schedule where I can work out at 7 instead of 4, so that I get an extra hour of sleep. I coach my 5-6. I've sacrificed coaching 2 7 o'clock classes a week for myself to get that workout in. And then again, I'm just trying to be my best at time management, which is hard. I've gotten a lot better at it with the 3 kids, staying organized. I also coach a summer swim team that's starting on May 20th, as well as my summer swim lessons. So I just kind of have to, I mean, just really narrow it down to what are my priorities and what do I want to accomplish in my day, and working out is like at the top of the list.
Absolutely. And I mean, with your schedule and all the things you have on your plate, every day looks a little bit different, but you look at each individual day and say, what do I need to sacrifice and what boundaries do I need to have to make my plan work, but also so that I can make everybody else's day and the responsibilities you have go on. I love that. That's awesome.
Right.
So you really fell in love with the process. And I think that, like we talked about before we jumped on this call together, tracking can be intimidating. For me personally, I deleted and re-downloaded MyFitnessPal so many times because I was telling myself it was ruining my relationship with food, and I just couldn't figure it out. I couldn't do it. I would gain weight every time I started tracking my macros. And when I found this app, it definitely healed that and made it make a lot more sense. I have my own coach in the app too. But as far as falling in love with the process, will you tell us a little bit more about your process? Maybe let's start with your morning routine.
Yeah. So on days that I mean, it's typically either I work out at 4, I get up at 3:15, do my little, you know, get ready and go to the gym, work out at 4 to 4:45. After that, I usually have the post-workout stack. So that's when I have like my first thing of food, is that stack with the ignition, creatine, and my Formula 1. And then I coach 5, 6, typically 7 on the days that I work out that early. And then when I get home, I have my breakfast, which is, I mean, I eat the same stuff all the time. So I have an egg with 4 tablespoons of egg white. I have a piece of sourdough toast, butter, tablespoon of butter. And sometimes I add some hot sauce on those eggs. I chow that down because I'm usually like starving by the time I get home at 7:45. And then I save my protein coffee for when I get home from drop off. I have to take kids, I pick up a few kids. We drop them off at school with the other kids. Oh, and I nanny 2 other kids during the day too, just to keep adding on to shit that I do. I don't know how I do it, but I do it. And then I enjoy my protein coffee. I give myself like 15 minutes on the couch and my phone, while the kids are minding, just, you know, either fighting or whatever they're doing in the other room. Just to kind of have me time again, just to enjoy that one thing that I look forward to every day is that protein coffee that I'm sure you've seen on my stories. But it's delicious. It gives me, again, just time to kind of veg out and watch my phone for a little bit, as long as no one's setting a fire in my house. And then once I have those few times the coffee's done, I typically get some work done. I'm also the sales manager for F45. So I run sales and getting all of that jazz. So I'm on there for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. Typically I get the kids out of the house. There's a lot of indoor play spots that I go, so then the kids can roam around and play and I'm able to work uninterruptedly because they're preoccupied with other things. On days, of course, that we don't do that, then I'm just at home trying to get stuff done. I can't make phone calls until nap time, so they're not screaming at me. But yeah, and then for lunch, I typically, are you wanting just like my day? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, you can keep flowing through your day.
Okay. Lunch, by the time, I mean, I kind of spread out my protein coffee and my breakfast, so then I have food to kind of hold me over, or protein to hold me over till lunch. Lunch is typically around like 12:31 by the time I actually get back from either our outdoor activity or just kind of finally get to it. And it's been recently a green salad full of fixings. So like tomatoes, I make sure I have enough macros for some avocado in there. I throw in my 4 ounces of chicken. I use light balsamic dressing, and I usually add like a cup of broccoli, cucumbers, just a whole mix of salad. It's delicious. You can switch it up, whatever floats your boat that day or what you have in the fridge. And then, yeah, during nap time is usually right after lunch. If my little 2-year-old isn't climbing out of his crib and escaping his crib tent, I'm able to then make phone calls for work. I usually snack on a half an apple. I allow myself a whole apple for the day, so I eat like a half an apple during that time. Then I'm doing that, and then an Olipop, which is bomb. If you guys haven't had Olipops, they're so good. It's like a little sweet treat. And they just came out with a new flavor today. If you didn't already know, peaches and cream. I have not tried it yet, but I'll get my hands on it one day. And then school is usually out by then. So on days that Jack and the neighbor boy doesn't take the bus, I'm off to go pick them up. If the babies aren't sleeping, otherwise I typically switch off with my neighbor and she goes and grabs them as well. And then it's after school stuff. So if we have a baseball game, if we have swim practice, I'm typically prepping my dinner because I already have it pre-tracked in the app. I know what I'm eating. It's typically a half cup of rice, my 4.5 ounces of chicken, that fire roasted veggie mix from Costco. And if I have more avocado in my bank, and then I add that. But I usually cook it all up, put it in a Pyrex bowl, and have it ready for me to eat when I need to eat it, whether it's at the baseball field or in my car while Jack's at swim practice. But I do make that a priority, so I'm not eating at 8 o'clock at night when I get home, sometimes 8:30 from swim practice for my oldest son. But I really make it a priority to know that, hey, I'm not going to be home to eat dinner, and I need to have my food ready to go. So once that's ready, I mean, sometimes I don't eat it super hot. Sometimes it's warm and it's fine. I mean, I can deal with it. Get the kids going, and yeah, we either have, again, like I said, we either have baseball or swim Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays we have each boy, the 2 older boys each have a game on Saturday. Sunday they each have a football game, so we're at the field for like 4 to 5 hours Saturday, Sunday. And I just really try to be aware of what I need to eat. That's why pre-tracking is so important, right? And I bring it with me. I just make sure I have my food with me. I have a little Yeti foam or Yeti like cooler thing that I just have kid snacks in, and then I have like half the cooler for my shit that I know that I can eat. I tell the kids that this is off limits. It's mine. But yeah, and then I'm usually in bed. I mean, I feel bad for my husband, but I'm usually in bed by the time like the kids go to bed. I snuggle the kids and I usually pass out with the kids because I'm just exhausted. But we find time. He's busy now too with baseball. We find time to hang out. Like today he was off, so he was home at 1 o'clock. We were able to hang out. The kids were up at a neighbor's house, but we make it work and it's going great.
Yeah, it really is going great. And what I want you guys to take away from hearing Allison's routine and her day to day is you might think, well, I don't have kids, or my kids aren't in sports, or maybe your day to day looks different. But what doesn't have to look different, and what I want you to take away from hearing her version of her lifestyle, is that she is disciplined. She decided what she was going to eat. She brings it with her. She's disciplined in all these ways, and she's consistent. And that consistency might look a little different, but she's consistent in the way that she wants her day to look and end. And so, if you can take anything away from that, it's how can you be disciplined and consistent with the game plan and with your nutrition and your tracking. Now, you did mention that you guys said that you find time. I think a better way to put that is that you make time. You waking up at 3 a.m. to go do your workout, that's you making time for this plan to work. So let's make that specification. So something I do want to know is some people have been in this journey for a couple days. Some people have been on it for a year. When did you know that this game plan, calories, protein, water, movement, foundational health, sleep, when did you know that the game plan that we're running together was going to work?
I think when did I start? In like October, November? It probably took me, I mean, I wasn't seeing results on this, like results on the scale like I wanted to see. I wasn't seeing, I saw a little bit in pictures, but it wasn't until the scale finally started moving where I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going. And that was probably a month, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks after the process of me starting. And honestly, it took me that long to just figure out my shit and to have you remind me to freaking pre-track my day, and remind me multiple times, be like, you need to pre-track, like, get on it. And that's when me eating the same shit every day just became routine because it was easy to copy and paste. I do switch it up like so often with the chicken and salmon. I love switching out the fish. I do eat steak, but honestly, chicken breast is just so high in protein and low in fat. So I can eat more of it. And it makes me full and satisfied. So that's just kind of what I've been sticking to, and smoking them on the smoker once a week, a bunch of them, and kind of having it last for my lunch and dinner. Unless, of course, Ian smokes the salmon or whatever, we have that and I can adjust. But it honestly took probably 4 to 5 weeks for me to finally see what I wanted to see happen. And then for me to, lift off and go.
Yeah. If I could take you guys into Allison and I's messages, it was just her saying, scale's not moving, scale's not moving, scale moved barely, it's not moving. And as the scale wasn't moving, you were kind of running the game plan.
Yeah.
But as the scale wasn't moving, you were bringing so many people into this community before you were even getting the real results you wanted, because you were embracing this lifestyle, trusting it was going to work. But you also kind of put your foot on the gas a little bit, and I ripped your calories down a little bit. So we worked as a team on that one. But I know that you had those doubts in the beginning when the scale wasn't moving that much. But now that you've seen the success, and now we're actually working on a reverse diet with you right now, where you're eating more calories and still, honest to God, losing weight. Do you still deal with negative self-talk or limiting self-beliefs? You can share as much or as little as you want, but just curious about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's days of the month, like I'm about to have my period. So when I see the scale go up like 3 pounds because I'm bloated or whatever, about to have that shindig happen, and that I'm gonna be off a little bit. My scale's not gonna be what I want to see. It's been four-ish times that's happened, so I'm kind of just used to it, and I know, hey, that's about to happen. Don't look in the mirror. Maybe don't weigh yourself during these 4 days, because it just does fuck with my head. Pardon my French. Yeah, otherwise I do weigh myself every morning before I go to the gym when I wake up, because it motivates me when I see that same number, consistent number. And like you said, I've upped my calories by 20. Jess got me 10. And then 2 weeks later, we did another 10 because I was seeing either still losing weight or maintaining. So I was like, I'm ready for more. And so, which is amazing. But me seeing, I think I'm now in like a healthy relationship with the scale, so where it's just routine. I weigh myself in the morning. I see it's consistent. I go on with my thing. And I also, I try to just give myself positive feedback when I do see myself in the morning, like in the mirror when I'm getting dressed. And that helps. And of course the daily or the weekly pictures help tremendous. So I do look back at those and just kind of check those out and reassure. I'm like, damn, look at how far I've gone. Like, look at where I've come from or where I started, where I thought I was in the best shape ever. And look at like, I don't know if you guys, the last reel I posted with February, when I was like, damn, I'm in the best shape of my life. And then I like compared it to what I did last week. And I was like, holy shit. Like, it's okay to feel the feels, but just know that, we're all behind you. We're all with you. And I mean, you can do it.
Absolutely. And, we are the stories we tell ourselves. And so it's kind of up to us to tell us the stories of belief and the stories of growth. So I really love that piece. Now we're going to go a couple minutes over. I only have 2 more questions for you, Allison. The first one is, tell us, we've been mentioning it. I just want you to tell us a little bit about, or give a shout out to your team and your community and how it's really formed over the last 2 or 3 months.
Yeah. Well, my team's freaking awesome. I think it's just kind of, when they start to see results on someone, like, I mean, it happens to me when I start to see, like, when you did the last challenge and I saw your results, it's just, you see it, so you want it for yourself. So I think what really got the ball rolling was them kind of seeing my results and then jumping into that first challenge. And it's just, I think it's just the community. It's the one thing that is missing from like I don't know about missing, but we go to the gym at 5 a.m. We all work out together. We're all in it together. Like 50% of us have the same freaking period at the same time because we're all together all the time. It's like, we were just missing that extra piece to finally get to those goals that we wanted. So like, we're all doing the hard work in the gym. But the food that I stress a lot with everyone is what I had someone message me today and they're like, hey, I want to join F45. I want to, you're doing amazing. You look so good, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you can join F45. I would love for you to join, but let me just tell you this, nothing changed me more than when I started counting my macros. Like, I've been working out. I was a college athlete. I've been working out every day for my whole life, pretty much. And for me to finally connect the dots and for me to put all those pieces together, the macros was that missing piece to finally get to what I wanted, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I love it.
But
and
the community is great. That's the best part is the group chat I love, and seeing my peeps at 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And again, just word of mouth and everyone recruiting their friends, joining the tribe and just kind of doing it together and reminding each other that we're not in this alone. And I think it's a benefit and it's an added plus that we do get to see each other every morning at like 5 a.m., 6 a.m., whenever I see their face. But
yeah, the people make That's right. And the people make the party. And Allison has brought over 70 people into this space. And so what I want you all to take away from that is 2 things. One, if you're feeling like you're dragging your feet, you might need people around you, not just for accountability, but so that you can have a shared experience with someone, because it's gonna be hard, but it feels less isolating and less scary and less daunting if someone you can relate to and is going through it with you and you guys can charge through it together. And the second piece is going to be that you have a community right here all around you in the Facebook group. And so just know that you're not alone. We're all doing it together. And if you're confused, someone else is confused. If you're struggling, someone else is struggling. Do you want to know the universal sign of if you're struggling? You're breathing. Okay. So remember that. Allison, I want to finish off with just kind of a great takeaway that I'd love you to share. If someone is just getting started right now, or maybe they fell off and are getting back into it, what would be, the one thing that you would tell them to give them some hope?
I mean, probably going back to just being patient with yourself. Give it time. I tell people all the time that a habit takes, 10 days to create and 10 more days to hold on to. But just to hold on. And if you have doubts, reach out. Don't be afraid to use the community that we have and, or your community that you have, find your tribe, and, don't be afraid to use your voice and just kind of ask for help or ask your questions so that you can get it answered. But yeah, just give it time and be patient. It doesn't happen right away, and the pounds aren't going to come off right away. It takes work, and you all can do it.
That's right. Oh, Allison, thank you so much for coming on today. If you guys, Allison, go ahead and type your Instagram into the chat so that people can follow you as I close us out. Thank you guys for sticking around for the couple extra minutes. I will not take too much more of your time, but what I want to let you know is that I care. We care. So if you care, let's all care together, and let's keep changing society. Let's keep changing generations, keep bringing people into this circle. We have a 21-day challenge starting on May 10th, where we are going to walk for 45 minutes, hit our protein goal, and drink 100 ounces of water every single day. And if you're already doing that, awesome. Let's tighten it up and let's bring some more people in, because these simple tasks that we're doing, that's Allison's doing, this is what's going to get you to the best version of yourself, to a version of yourself that inspires other people, that influences other people. And we're right here with you. So thank you, Allison, for joining us. You guys, I'm going to post this recording soon. If you think anyone you know could benefit from it, bring them into the Facebook group and let's keep growing together. I love you guys. I care about you guys. Get some sleep, drink some damn water. Bye.